Do you often attract love bombers? Are you that person who's always just seems to kind of attract that love bomber vibe, that person into your world one after the other, and wonder why? What's going on? Yeah, there are a lot of love bombers out there, a lot of selfish people, entitled people, narcissistic behaviors. But why am I always the common denominator attracting this love bomber? Why do they just seem to target me? There's a reason for that. There's a reason why you attract love bombers. And maybe it's unintentional, maybe it's subconscious, but I want to go over a few pointers on why you attract love bombers and might not be sure why. The thing about love bombers, we understand when we break down the word, there's a lot of love just basically implanted and forced and persuaded and flattering comments and gestures and adventure, excitement, fake, false, hopeful, big promises. And you're just like, oh my God, this is amazing. This person's amazing. Wow, where have you been all my life? I think I'm in love. She's perfect. He's perfect. And then the bomb. Almost like a little stripped line of the powder that leads to a bomb just slowly starts to get lit, and then what happened? Why is he not texting me anymore? Why is she blocking me? Why am I getting ghosted? What's going on? Where did this bomb come from? People do it. I've seen a lot of clients in this situation, unfortunately, when they come to me for the first time, a lot of comments when I go on live. And the thing about it is, when I always talk to my clients and I talk to anybody in my live, like I talk to my videos here, we can blame the love bombers. We can blame the society that commonalized that and made it seem popular or somewhat cool because it's very clickbait. But you need to take the blame for you always attracting love bombers. You need to take the responsibility of why you always attract love bombers and haven't reflected on yourself. And it has to do with how you might view relationships. Maybe you don't realize you view relationships in a very casual way, unhealthy way, shallow way, nonchalant way, whatever way you want to call it. But how you view relationships is what to blame for you to get caught up being love bombed often, especially if it happens more than once. How you approach relationships, how you start relationships. When you think you even know what you want in a relationship, there's something off in your mindset, your approach, your character to get so easily convinced by a love bomber over and over. I know that might sound a little harsh, but I'm sorry. I got to help you out with holding the level of accountability to really take responsibility. And why? Not everyone's out here to get you. Not everyone here is a love bomber, but you seem to fall for the same trap. Number one, on what love bombers tend to seek out: targets, insecurity, insecure people, insecure positions, insecure moments, and when you feel vulnerable. And I'm not going to say you're an insecure person. Maybe you seem very successful, you're in great shape, you're very educated, whatever it is, but it's a vulnerable emotional moment in your life. Recently broken up with, divorced, separated, have trust issues, haven't really found yourself professionally, financial struggles, maybe some, body image, self-conscious issues, whatever it is. We've all had moments where maybe something in our life is successful and great and stable, but there's something emotional that might be a little insecure about who we are. Maybe parents' issues with the kids. I've heard it all. And so when you don't pay attention to your mental health, your emotional intelligence, and you seem to fall in this vulnerable, insecure place of not knowing your value, not knowing your worth, you seem to put out a very insecure vibe in the dating world. And it doesn't come off insecure. It's fun, it's ambitious, it's exciting, it's open-minded, could be somewhat charismatic. You're just having a great time, and then you target the love bomber. And they see that maybe you're not as stable or secure with yourself as possible. And they try to take advantage of it. they give you a lot of love. And then the bomb. Let me read this description on this because I want to share with you all. Take notes if you'd love to on this because it's so insightful. Love bombers know their tactics won't fly with someone who has experienced authentic love and a respectful relationship. I'm going to repeat that again. Love bombers know their tactics won't fly with someone who has experienced authentic love and a respectful relationship. Why do you think that is? Because they now know what an authentic love or respectful relationship looks like, a mature breakup, an understanding of why we both want different things, so they're not desperate. They're not trying to date to replace and repeat the same problem, different face. They've taken time to grow from the relationship. They don't hate their exes. And I know we've all been through unhealthy or healthy breakups, healthy or unhealthy relationships, but as a relationship coach, I always try to help and guide my clients to view relationships should get healthier and more successful in the sense of who you pick of high character, compared to always guaranteeing every relationship to go down to the highest level of, marriage. If relationships are getting better, then there's something working, there's something going on. If relationships are getting worse, there's something going off with your choice, with what you allow, with what you attract. So if you have authentic love, respectful relationships, even after an unhealthy relationship, you've already kind of made that mistake of that insecurity, that trauma bond, that toxic, dysfunctional, infatuated love that you all been through, which we all have been through. And you kind of grown out of that phase to really value yourself and attract someone who values that same level of moral or values within your life. So you're not going to be persuaded by a love bomber. You're not going to like, oh, come on, hold on. Do you think I'm going to fall for that shit? You think this works? You think you're that charming? You think this shallow attitude is going to work with me? But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't do that. And I understand there's not much education on it. There's no classes or courses on it. You always talk to your friends or your family about the same problems. They're just trying to protect you. And that's where coaches come in to help you, hold you accountable, put the mirror on you, challenge you. What's your problem? We all got them. We all got them. And so when you seem to put yourself in an insecure emotional place, which we've all been there, you want to take time to figure that out. Why are you there? What is going on in your life? What do you need to get better at? What do you need to prioritize? What do you need to work on? Otherwise, you attract someone who might take advantage of you, take you for granted, easily buy your love, buy your attention, buy your respect. And love bombers are very charming. Love bombers aren't assholes. Love bombers aren't mean, cold, insecure, inconsiderate people. Well, there are insecure in some other ways, but they're very persuasive. They're very, fun, open, sharing all the time. And so when you're easily caught up and bought by that, there might be something lacking in yourself. So they set their sights on those who may have a lower self-esteem or a moment of being in lower self-esteem, experience some degree of emotional neglect, past relationships, parents, kids, divorce, or felt largely unseen in childhood. That's a whole different department. I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but I see how that plays a big role, especially as we see the same patterns on who you attract. Unsurprisingly, the love bomber most likely also experienced these conditions at some point, ultimately doesn't feel worthy of a healthy relationship. So the love bomber has actually the same kind of issues. They just got really good at putting a wall. They got really good at putting a guard. They got really good at putting this alter ego of, I'm going to use my strengths to my advantages and ignore and neglect and basically block my insecure negatives, my weaknesses. Now, I'm not going to ever be vulnerable. I'm going to get love and I'm going to bomb love and I'm never going to put myself in a very sensitive position to get hurt again. Love bombers are very, tactful towards like that, kind of like narcissists in a way. Narcissists love bomb. Not all love bombers are narcissists, though. So make sure you understand that. Love bombers seek insecure targets because of insecure moments. You might not be an insecure person, but find yourself, if you seem to not have structure, discipline, ambition, passion, goals, purpose, if you seem like you're not very excited with like no social life, no lack of, commitment to the gym, you don't really care about your job, you're just kind of slowly fading away in your phone, looking for validation through social media or dating apps or someone's attention on a date. If you're in that position, and I get being lonely, I get the value of companionship, I even understand the point of maybe just wanting something for fun, situationships, casual, friends with benefits. I've heard it all. I don't judge any situation as a coach. But if you seem to kind of compromise and put yourself in a position to allow yourself to have those moments, then don't get too caught up and too quickly sold on this love affection, because you all know what love bombers do. I made many videos about this, and when I ask my clients or ask anyone in my lives, do you know what love bombers are? What do? They know, but they still fall for the same act. Why? Because they haven't done the work within themselves. There's something still unseen, unheard, unfolded, untangled. That's what love bombers focus on. They see that, they sense that. When someone's too available, too excited, yes. Something that's very interesting. I want you to take notes, and I want you to ask questions about yourself if you seem to always attract love bombers. It's interesting because I've had clients where like they're beautiful women, make good money, solid, in shape. You will never think they're insecure, but they haven't taken time alone. Relationship after relationship after relationship. So they don't know necessarily of what they actually want in a relationship. They're just used to what they get at a relationship. I think we've all been there in some form. You have to understand, though, you need to take that break within yourself. And that's where you can grow between relationships. And that way you realize and you see, detect, you notice this tactic, this facade, the salesmanship of someone trying to force love. I've had so many examples where I've had clients tell me this, and within like a week, within like 2 dates, they're already texting each other, love, sweetie, babe, boo, honey. And they're like telling me the story, and I could see their excitement because we do video calls of how they're like, and he gave me the heart emoji, the kiss emoji. He texts me good morning. He says he can't wait to see me. He misses me. Where have I been? All these flattering things I've seen and heard, and their faces are lit up from it. So it crushes me where I'm like, does he even know your last name before he says, hi, love? Does he even know your eye color before he says, hi, sexy? Hey, beautiful. Very strong words of endearment. It's one thing if the relationship has gone for a little while, 4 or 5 dates, we've made out, we've done this, we've done that, we've gotten to know each other. Okay, but love bombers go quick. And when I hear a client's stories within a date, wow, just the text message, the emoji, the infatuated gestures after 2 dates, after like trying to rush someone in their life, trying to rush someone in their world, get to their house immediately. Think about it, is like love bombers don't present this in a very scary, shady kind of like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Why don't you come over? It's not like so devious. They know how to be very smooth about it. They know how to make you feel good and like bring you up in a way. They compliment you. They lift you up and then bring you down. They bring the love, then the bomb. They're the hot and the cold. So if you find yourself always falling for that, I get the excitement and I actually respect the ability to be excited for love and the attention in the dating world. It's great that you actually are enthusiastic about it. But you sound kind of reckless and you sound kind of naive to just fall for something so quickly. Be aware of that. If you fall for something too quickly, if things are moving too fast, if things don't make sense, I was just talking about this before we started. If things don't make sense, don't try to make sense of it. Simple. Because the person who understands and respects you as a person is going to take their time to get to know you, be very real, transparent, flirty, but not too much. They're going to know a healthy balance because they had an authentic love. They've had a respectful, healthy relationship themselves, and that's what they want. Love bombers are insecure, and so they target insecure people. Think about that. Let me read this next description. It's also quite possible that the behavior of the love bomber is unconscious and harm isn't intended. You'd be surprised. Most love bombers aren't bad people. Can't say the same for narcissists, but different topic. Love bombers, most of them aren't bad people. They're just scared, insecure, fearful people who just don't want to talk about that part of their lives, and they just try to be as fun and exciting for a moment in your life as possible. Whether the love bomber is intentional or not, the effects can be draining, even devastating for you to feel so excited so quickly and then the bomb drops. So if you're finding yourself attracting partners who engage in love bombing, access to love, access to words of endearments, to the exciting phase of we get to know each other so quickly, phone calls every day, text message all day, nicknames on the first date, intimate moments a little too quickly. No matter the root cause, setting boundaries and seeking support from loved ones or a mental professional, relationship coach, life coach, to help you examine this pattern is key. The key thing about how to know if a love bomber is a love bomber or someone who's just interested in you, and again, this is kind of an interesting point on this. Someone who has actual genuine interest in you, someone who's actually healthy, who actually wants to get to know you and date you. There's a thin line between that, unfortunately, and the love bomber, because they're both going to be charming. They're both going to be likable and presentable and hopefully respectful and caring and interested in who you are and basically persuading you, both of them. But the one who genuinely wants to pursue you and date you, compared to the love bomber, understands and respects and actually wants to hear your boundaries, understands your standards, respects your availability. He's not dating only on his watch. He's dating to see what works for both of us. When are we both available? Great. He's not going to rush to force the relationship to progress so quickly in the bedroom or intimately with emotional openness. The person who actually genuinely wants to get to know you understands, first base, second base, third base, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, verbally. I'm not going to start calling you nicknames until we feel like we've gotten there to a point. I'm not going to go try to hit a home run until maybe we, kiss first. That whole first base, second base, third base, that is a metaphor not just for the bedroom, but for mental, emotional, verbal steps on how someone portrays dating you in the right way. Whereas the love bomber, he's like he's like Barry Bonds. He just wants to hit a home run every time, which obviously sounds awesome, but it's not sustainable. Think about this. I want you to understand about love bombers because they're out there and they're insecure people. Maybe they're not all bad people, but if you find yourself always getting persuaded by one or falling for one, then you got to check yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror. What is going on in my world? What's not right? What's unstable? What do I feel off on? And we've all have something. If you need help with this, send me a message, send me a comment. I'm here to help you. My name is Coach Andres. Subscribe to my channel because I'm going to talk about this topic a lot more. I have more tips, more details, more examples about love bombers. Love bombers might be insecure, scared people, but that doesn't give you an excuse to date insecurely or scared. Send me a message. Thank you.